In the past, there have been many traditional ways to celebrate Christmas. With songs, with gifts, with family and friends. There's a new way.
Ho, 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 Bert.
With Ernest. Ernest P. Worrell. He's back.
Know what I mean?
Back to save Santa.
Santa's in the slammer.
Look at those beady, twinkling eyes.
Back to save Christmas. Back to save face.
You're dead meat.
That's life for you. Isn't she a doll?
Ernest P. Worrell.
Mr. Valentine.
In the mission they said couldn't be done.
On Comet, on Cupid, on Donder.
In the movie they said shouldn't be done.
Dopey, Grumpy, Blister.
You guys say you have a problem with reindeer?
Trim the tree. Light the candles. Deck the halls. And hit the deck. 'Cause Ernest P. Worrell's coming to town. And he's coming
With colorful cards and festively wrapped packages.
Air brakes.
Ernest Saves Christmas.
What a hell of a fucking trailer.
I always love watching those old trailers, man.
Oh, yeah. The only thing I can say that's not as fun with it is, like, for those watching a video, you get to see the little edge of the video with me and Chuck behind there because, 4:3 to 16:9 ratios. Man, they've really changed it a lot, that's for sure. So, obviously, everybody knows that we are going to be doing Ernest Saves Christmas. So I think we should probably go ahead and introduce our guests, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and do that. So we got a Ernest Superfan and one of the hosts for the Ernest watch parties, Mo Edwards.
Hi guys, thanks for having me.
Oh, thank
Thanks
you
for being on.
accepting my invitation to come on the show. I'm very excited to hear what you have to say about this movie, to say the least.
Well, I'm excited to talk about one of my very favorite subjects in the world. So thank you guys.
I had a feeling it would definitely be that way, especially considering how we met and everything else.
Yeah.
About 100% of our conversations have only been about Ernest and Jim Varney. So
Yeah, people come to talk to me about that all the time. I'm the person.
and that's awesome. That's really cool. Unfortunately, with the job that I have, I can't stay up late every night, but I've definitely have made it to quite a few. I don't know exactly how many, but more than 4 Ernest watch parties.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Well, I try my best. I'm up at like 4:00 in the morning, so my time, and your show's 8:00 at night, my time.
Yeah,
But-
usually we catch each other at when you're like up in the morning and I haven't gone to bed yet and I need to like get my ass in bed. Yeah.
but as an Ernest fan, I'm very excited with everything that you're doing with it. And I mean, like, what was it last week? You were doing some of the Hey Vern episodes.
Yeah, so
Nice.
we started this in February of 2021. So it's been less than a year that we've been doing the Ernest watch party, but we just said we're just going to watch everything Ernest. And then we ended up doing a couple bonus things as well. But so we watched we didn't do it all in order. We just kind of laid out a schedule of what we kind of thought felt right for the year. And some of the 4 of the watch parties included watching the Saturday morning children's TV show, Hey Vern, It's Ernest. So we'd watch 3 or 4 of those at a time. So we just wrapped that up for the year. But we're going to be starting over again in January and re-going through the whole Ernest catalog. Again, not in order, but we will watch everything. So yeah, it's been really, really fun and surprising in some ways too.
Oh yeah, can you tell us what's been the most surprising thing so far?
I think the level of excitement from people about it, They aren't usually like huge attendance yet so far, but there's been a lot of people that have come to one or two, or they come here and there and stuff. You know, they just can't make it every time. But people are so happy about it. Like, I get messages all the time where people are like, "You're doing the Lord's work," you know, and they're just like so excited. And I think what it is we started it as a way to kind of we knew that there's a Jim Varney documentary in the works, hashtag IOBE, beingearnestfilm.com. But so my friend Aaron and I, we knew that was in the works. It was coming. And so we knew there was going to be a Kickstarter campaign in 2021. And we wanted to kind of do whatever we could as fans to kind of hype it up and whatnot. So we were already doing some watch parties that had nothing to do with Ernest. And we're like, let's do an Ernest watch party. Why not? And I think what's happened is, you know, this is the first thing that has been an event that fans of Ernest can regularly gather around, you know, in like 20 years. And then I mean, there is an Ernest Day event that happens in Tennessee that's been going on for a few years now in June, but that, you know, is obviously not as easy to get to as a virtual event every 2 weeks that's free, you know, so it's given people something to gather around, and it's created these connections in like the Ernest community of all these people like becoming friends online and whatnot, and then meeting in real life at Ernest Day and whatnot. And it's just been really, really cool to watch that.
That definitely sounds amazing. I definitely need to get more involved where I can meet everybody. I will say that, and I'm pretty sure I can speak for Chuck with this one, but we might not be as big of a fan as you, considering I've seen some of your pictures, and may I say that you are 100% a Ernest fan. There is no arguing that whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're huge fans as well. I mean, well, I
Big
think
part of my childhood. Big part
you
of my
know,
childhood.
hell, this is normally a horror show that we usually do, and
Justin was
Ernest
like, "We gotta do
Scared
more Ernest."
Stupid. Ernest Scared Stupid is one of the main things that got me into horror. You know, it's just crazy how many different genres that this guy's reached into and definitely helped people. Just, you know, it's just amazing, the entire everything that Jim Varney's done. It really, truly is, and it's kind of sad that he's not around to see exactly what he means to people. Even, you know, what this movie came out in '88.
Yes.
Which that was the year I was born, guys. So I'm just gonna throw that out there.
I was too, so we're close. Yeah.
I was born in '84, so
Right.
I'm the old fart here.
Okay.
You are.
When did Ernest Goes to Camp? When did that come out?
87.
I wasn't even born.
Yeah, so I remember all of when all those movies started. I saw a good portion of it in theaters and stuff. And that's, I don't know, that and Ghostbusters, Ernest and Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Did you see Ernest Scared Stupid in theaters?
Yes.
Were you scared by it, or?
No, I thought it was hilarious, and I thought that it was disgusting, and I love the fact that it was so disgusting for a kids movie, like just the snot and just, you know, all that nonsense. Like I fell in love with it. Like yeah, it was like him. It was pretty much like an open door. Like, Are You Afraid of the Dark and Goosebumps when it came down to kids related horror stuff, and being a fan of Ernest before that movie even came out. Like,
yeah, I
don't know, it kind of helped. You know, I always said Ernest should have done. There should have been a cartoon with Ernest and Scooby Doo and all them. That would have been cool. That'd have been great.
Right, like when Scooby-Doo did all the Scooby-Doo meets like whatever, because they had like 50-something episodes. It would have been cool to have like Scooby-Doo meets Jim Varney and does a whole episode there. Before we go ahead and continue though, we got quite a few comments already. Sean, how's it going, man? And I know it's a nice shirt, sporting the Smithson Creations shirts, which Sean he's the owner of that company. David's chiming in. Know what I mean?
I know what you mean, Vern.
And we got Jason in here. Jason, how's it going, buddy? And I don't see your friend who you're talking to. I don't know why. Maybe there's something. I don't know where he's watching it. He says that I love Ernest. That shit was my childhood. He is one of the funniest actors and very interesting. I would love to meet Ernest and Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks, you have a chance to meet. Unfortunately, Ernest, you don't.
Unless he's haunting something. He's haunting something, you might have a chance. But I don't know
and
where he'd haunt.
Right. Let's see here. And we got Ron chiming in. Hey, Ron. He says he saw Ernest Goes to Camp in theaters. I didn't get to
wow.
see any of them. By the time I was old enough to go to the movies, all the Ernest movies turned to like straight to video.
Mm. Yeah, you were right on that cusp, I think. I didn't see any of them
Yeah.
in theaters either, and I was old enough to see some of them, but I think Ernest Scared Stupid, what I was asking you about that is like, because a lot of parents, the first wave of people took their kids to it and kids were so scared of that troll. I never was either. I was fascinated, but a lot of kids were scared. And so then the first wave of parents told the other parents, like, don't take your kids to that. You're going to be dealing with nightmares. So I never saw that movie in theaters, even though I think I would have been old enough. That's probably why my mom was probably like, we're not doing that, but.
I would say that, because I mean, again, that was a long time ago, so like my memory is kind of shot. But I would say in the small town that I came from, that there was probably a little bit of an issue with some people. I would say that'd be a safe bet on that one.
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoyed it, and I never listened to anybody else, so whatever.
Yeah, I watched it like right away when it came out on video and everything. I was probably about 4 or 5 the first time I saw it, and so what? That's like 93, 94, and I fucking loved it.
And you guys are like horror nerds, so it makes sense. Like at that age, even that would
Just
be like fascinating, not like scary,
Yeah.
Like,
well, the trolls kind of scared me, but then again, you got the same people from Killer Clowns from Outer Space doing special effects for a fucking Ernest movie.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is insane to even think about. We got some other people chiming in here too, by the way. I believe you might know this woman, Chelsea
Hey.
Anderson. Hi,
Yeah,
Mo.
I know her.
And we got Jen Mask and friends. I'm a huge Ernest super fan as well, and knew about him since I was born. I remember Camp and the Mellow Yellow commercial from Greatest Hits very well.
Hi, Jen. I know Jen too. She is a super archiver of Ernest things.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
That's so awesome. That's that really is so like great that like people are so gun ho about Jim Varney and the whole Ernest characters. I think it's great.
This girl combs through old VHS rips on YouTube from the time period that Ernest commercials were on the air, just for the sake of like finding Ernest commercials and archiving them. Like, she's a rock star.
Oh wow,
that's hardcore.
So when we were talking before the show of the things I wanted to see, that's the person I need to talk to see if she could find them.
Yeah. You could talk to. Jen sends me everything, and then I have a lot of like access to other things with my relationships with people and stuff. So.
Right. Yeah, you might actually be able to find that with some of the connections you've met through his family. So, definitely, probably more than anybody else could.
Let me know what you're looking for. I know you said something about stand-up. I want to see
his old stand-ups.
Yeah, there's some of it on YouTube.
On YouTube,
and then I know that like the documentary crew, they're hoarding some stuff right now. There's a lot of footage that has not been released, but it's there. It's just being hoarded because the documentary is coming. So they're not releasing.
So it's Justin's fault.
Yeah, we'll just blame Justin.
Fair enough.
Hopefully he's on here. He said he was going to try and pop on. So hopefully he hears us blaming him.
I am not a hoarder.
I've seen his laptop, and
that's an okay kind of hoarding though. That is a justified way of
that
hoarding.
Is fair.
The best hoarding ever.
He says, I am here in the flesh. Oh man. Hey Justin, hope you're doing well, man. We definitely miss having you on the show. Anytime you want to send me some of that Ernest doing stand-up footage, just throw it my way. But anyways, before we go ahead and get too crazy with everything.
Too late.
Yeah, for real, right?
Down the rabbit hole.
We're off the rails.
It's bound to happen when you're talking about Ernest. So before we go ahead and jump into this, obviously you were talking about the Ernest watch parties and everything, and we're actually, we're doing Ernest Saves Christmas, but you guys are doing Ernest Saves Christmas too, aren't you?
Yes. So not this Sunday, but next Sunday, December 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, we're going to show Ernest Saves Christmas, and it's a free stream, and there's like a group chat so people can talk throughout the movie. There's no video, it's just chat. And then we have like giveaways that we do. Like I make things like these shirts, we're going to give away those, and we have other like custom giveaways and fun things we just sprinkle randomly throughout the watch party. And then we have a lot of times we have exclusive like things to show and share that have to do with Jim Barney or with Ernest and stuff that you can only get to see or listen to at the Ernest watch parties. So yeah,
which is awesome. I will say I've never won anything, but for anybody out there wondering, I have seen other people win. I think it's rigged because I've never won.
Yeah, and we do like at least 3 random giveaways each time. And, you know, if it's a bigger event, like one of the 4 Disney Touchstone Ernest movies, then we get a bunch of people in there. We'll just like go a little crazy and have fun. So
that's really cool. Just for all the listeners watching today and everything, can you tell us some of the possible things that people have won in the past?
Oh yeah. So I made special shirts for like Ernest Scared Stupid, and we purchased some like hats. I think they were from like Body Bags Horror, like Ernest Scared Stupid hats. We do buttons. We had these bumper stickers made that say I break for Vern. They're like a vintage recreation, but then they say like hashtag Ernest Watch Party on them.
Nice.
Like lots of stickers and magnets, all kinds of little goodies. And then, you know, we throw in candy and fun things like that.
I want some really cool, like stupid merch.
I took candy in there.
I need to get me an Ernest Scared Stupid poster. I need to find me a poster of that shit.
Yeah, if you go for like a real one, it's probably expensive.
Yeah.
There's certain ones are very expensive.
It's such an obscure movie. That at this time period right now, so many people are like us, like re-showing it, re-watching it, all that stuff, and like, oh yeah, like I really need to have that.
Nostalgia, like, yeah.
Man. Oh yeah, nostalgia. This is definitely the time for nostalgia when it comes down to certain things. Completely. And Ernest is at the forefront.
You're definitely not wrong there at all. It doesn't look like the movie posters for this is that expensive, to be honest with you, though.
Really?
There's different versions. And like there's one that has a lot of text across it it's more available, and there's like a OG one that is like pretty pricey out there.
That Ernest Goes to Jail. I'd like to have a poster for that too. I always liked that one. I don't know. It was just so ridiculous. I like seeing evil, I like the evil side.
Cool. Yeah, that's my favorite as an adult. My favorite as a kid was Ernest Scared Stupid because I was just so fascinated with it. But as an adult, it's definitely Ernest Goes to Jail. I think that's the most adult one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the double like roles he gets to play, and there's so many things. Forever.
No, I feel the same way about that one though, completely. Because as a kid, I mean, I still love Scared Stupid a lot, but as I got older, I rewatched like Ernest Goes to Jail about like 10 years ago, and felt like I actually liked it probably a little bit more for some reason. I don't know. Yeah. I like it was an interesting concept.
That's the one I always recommend to people if they're like new to Ernest or they're trying to introduce another adult to Ernest. Like, hey, this is this awesome thing for my childhood, and the friend isn't sure. I'd like just have them watch Ernest Goes to Jail. Like, start with that.
Yeah.
I always personally tell everyone to go with Ernest Scared Stupid. And then if I don't really care what they're going to think about it, I always then suggest for Ernest Goes to Africa.
Oh, Lord.
I've never seen that one for probably obvious reasons. I don't know. I was always kind of weird about that one.
It has its moments for sure that are worthwhile.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a dangerous one with, the times now. It definitely wouldn't have been made today.
I never knew that it even existed. And I was at Walmart and they had like an Ernest collection. This was a couple of years ago. And I was like, oh, this is cool, whatever. And then I was like, Ernest Goes to Africa. When did they make this crap? Like, what? It's like I was mad enough when Pink Panther went on to like the son of Pink Panther. And then I started seeing these ridiculous things with Ernest, and I was even more mad about that. I don't know. There was a time where I dropped off and I just kind of didn't know about anything.
Yeah, I think the fans were aging out of Ernest as the same time Jim Varney was aging out of Ernest, and now we have a second like wave of nostalgia and people's children who are being introduced to it and stuff. But at the time, that I think it was kind of a natural like closing the door on that anyway.
Yeah.
So we got Chelsea saying, "JB, you'll win eventually." Thank you, Chelsea. I am hoping you're the person that does the, hopefully picking the winners. We also got somebody in here, Band of Brothers. Mo, do you prefer Jim's Kitchen the way it was in the '80s or how it looks now?
Oh, I don't know who that is, but
question.
Yeah. So I did get to go to his house this last fall. With Jim's niece, Andrea, who's a good friend of mine. We got to go there, and the owners are very lovely people and totally like welcomed us into the home and let us walk around. And I personally prefer how it was in the 80s with what we now lovingly refer to as the Varney blue everywhere, which is mostly all gone. Like there's blue paint all over the house in this one shade, and it's almost all gone, but there's one door left in Varney blue. So,
oh wow!
Yeah,
Barney. It sounds like a good country song.
Yeah.
Barney Blue. Oh, real quick, I have to do something real because my son would get real mad if I didn't do this. When I actually showed him Ernest Saves Christmas the other night, he was drawing, and he drew this. He'd never seen it before, and he wanted me to show because we were doing it today. He just drew a nice little Santa Claus and some other weird shit.
Rainbow and clouds. What else is in there? I want to see. A present.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah.
How old is he?
Good.
He's 9.
Oh, that's perfect age.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Tell Dad he said hi.
Yeah, I will.
Tomorrow when he's awake.
He's awake right now. Like it's weekend. It's been a long week, so I'm just like, dude, do whatever. When I'm done with this, we'll watch some Scooby Doo.
Fair enough.
It's kind of fun being a parent.
Band of Brothers says, "My name is Rocky." I don't know if that.
Oh, yeah, I know who Rocky is. Yeah.
Right. And we got people commenting. Great drawing, so everyone likes the drawing as well. And happy hour news team. I'm assuming this is Shanty. Ernest Saves Christmas. Kick-ass movie. Let's go ahead and just
wait.
out there.
Shanty, didn't you just have a kid?
Yeah. He just literally had a baby. Had a baby. And he's watching us talk about Ernest.
Like today?
Like it was today or yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, wow. For real.
Yeah. Fresh melon. Congratulations to him and his wife.
Congratulations, man.
Yes, congratulations.
So I guess anyways, before we get too out of hand, we should probably talk about this movie real quick.
Real quick.
I thought.
Well, let's just be honest. It's every Ernest movie is fairly cut and dry.
Yeah.
They're fun, entertaining movies, but they're kind of right to the point.
Yeah.
I do have a question for you, Mo, once we get started with talking about some of the people involved with this, because there's somebody involved with this movie that I can't figure out who they really are.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure they're going by a fake name on the IMDb. So this was directed by, of course, John Cherry, which notoriously done a lot of stuff with Jim Varney. Now, it was written by Ed Turner, but the screenplay was done by B. Klein. That's the person I think is just a fake name.
Why do you think that?
There's nothing else attached to the person. You can't look them up. There's no information. There's no prior or existing work afterwards.
Well, I think
this is like a DJ McHale using like his cat's name and Are You Afraid of the Dark?
I don't know if that's not a real person, but I do know that there was something going on with Justin would know better than me, but there's something going on with like, they had the Ernest writers writing on this movie, and then they had Disney Touchstone writers writing. And I think like the Ernest writers there was like a strike with the like Writers Guild going on or something that caused them to not be listed in the credits and stuff. So it might be something like that, where maybe that isn't a real person and they like put that in there. I don't know. Right.
Well, I'm just like, usually because what Ernest Saves Christmas is, that's back when Disney had the rights, correct? So even back in the 80s, Disney had enough money to have really good writers, and everybody was going to want their credit. So it's kind of where I'm leaning that this is a fake name.
Yeah. Well,
But-
and there's also like so many scripts that I guess float around at Disney and stuff. And, they sometimes get lent to different characters and franchises like, oh, we could turn this into an Ernest movie or, whatever. So I don't know, maybe.
Justin says,
Yeah, Daniel
probably knows. None of that stuff is ringing a bell.
Yeah.
It's just a very, very odd one there. Because, I mean, usually, I mean, I'm pretty good at figuring out information when it comes to, looking up stuff on IMDb. I have a pro account, which really gives you very detailed information about people. And B. Klein just doesn't exist. There's no information on this guy, really.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah, that's true.
But let's go ahead and I guess dive into this a little bit more then. So this movie obviously stars Jim Varney as Ernest P. Worrell. We got Douglas Sale as Santa, Noel Parker as Harmony. We got Oliver Clark. We got Billy Bird, Robert Lesser, Patty Maloney, Jack Swanson. I mean, this is an insane cast list for an Ernest movie. Let's just be honest. I mean, it's I don't know. To me, it's just really crazy that we got somebody like Patty Maloney in this, who for those who don't know, she was in like Addams Family and stuff back in the day, and one of Chuck's favorite movies, Ice Pirates.
She played the Mary character, right? Is that right?
In Ernest?
Yeah.
Thisbe.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, wait. I was listening to your guys' last thing, and you were talking about the Star Wars, what is that, Christmas special?
Star Wars Holiday Special.
Yeah, and she was apparently played like Chewbacca's child or something in that. Like, I was like, oh, weird, the crossover. Like,
oh my God, yeah. Well,
that's hilarious.
That was a really, really rough episode, to be fair.
Yeah,
sadly, I wasn't on it, but that was by choice.
Yeah, and I've never seen that special, so I feel like I should get like a prize for listening to that. Because you guys were basically like, you didn't inspire me to watch it after hearing that.
I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I will say, I mean, as somebody who's spent a lot of money just like tattooing themselves in Star Wars, I mean, it's rough. It's a really, really rough watch.
I prefer Indiana Jones.
Anyways, I guess to get into a basic walkthrough of this movie, this movie we have
27 minutes in. Let's get to the walkthrough.
Well, whatever.
That's how the show goes.
Basic shenanigans, and in this movie, I will say one of the things that's kind of weird is like he is really big on driving in this movie. Like driving is his thing, and it's shown all the way through here. But basically, Ernest is a cab driver at first,
which I think is a perfect Ernest job. Like
exactly, yeah,
perfect.
It's perfect.
It is. We got the one guy just like flying out of the car on the highway, which he probably should have been dead.
Yeah, it caused something to go wrong with that guy. Like,
right. But from there, he ends up dropping somebody off and going to pick up somebody else who just happens to not be able to pay him for his cab fare, and also turns out to be Santa Claus, which kind of a cool premise in a way. I will give it that. It is, to me, this is definitely better than Tim Allen's Santa Claus.
Oh, I mean, I like them both.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Popo Gijo.
It was a bad movie. I'm just saying that I like this one more.
Well, me too. So
I can agree with that. Yeah, but there's still a soft spot.
But that's still a great movie.
The first one. The first one.
Yes. We're all talking about
the third one. He only likes the third.
I won't even get into it.
Okay. Well, shortly after figuring out Santa Claus is there, they end up running into another girl. And the girl's lying about her name, what's happening. She was, what should she say? She was locked in the basement of the restaurant. Like, just crazy shit. And from there, Sorry, we're getting a lot of comments in here real quick. Justin, such an authentic Santa Claus. I think he did a very good job. That's for sure.
Yeah, I do too.
Right. And
Well, they get a lot of character development with Santa Claus in this too, to make him feel like a real, I don't know,
like the real Santa
person.
Claus.
Yeah, like a real person, not just a cutout cardboard figure.
Right. Not just what we all just automatically know as what Santa Claus
like
is.
a Coke ad Santa.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I would believe this old man in this film over anybody else when it comes down to it. He not overbearing, whatever.
Right. We got Rocky chiming in, by the way. What is Mo's favorite non-Ernest Jim Varney film role?
Probably Jed Clampett in the Beverly Hillbillies, because it's such a large role. He's done a lot of other things that I loved. But
as you said
that, too.
Yeah,
Ron, yeah.
It's funny because while watching this movie, and obviously we're gonna get to the part, but when he's doing the whole snake thing,
yeah,
as soon as I love it, I just started cracking up. I look over at my wife and I'm like, this is like the early starts of Jed Clampett. Like,
yeah,
I got these snakes here and go in the back. That's great.
Have you guys seen Hey Vern, It's My Family album?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I have. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like the Lloyd Worrell character.
Oh, yeah.
And Jim Varney used to use him in stand up and stuff. So if people are like, love the snake guy from Ernest Saves Christmas, they need to go on YouTube and find Hey Vern, It's My Family album. And they're really going to love that Lloyd Worrell character.
That's one of the best things, real quick. That is one of the best things about watching these films is you get to see different sides of Ernest, like just the different things about like Jim Varney and his characters. Those are like the best things. I always loved it when he went into it, like in Scared Stupid, when he, they're getting ready for battle and he's like, like all that crap.
Yeah,
like,
the Ottomans and all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. As a kid, I couldn't wait. I was like, oh, he's gonna start doing them now, and it's just like, I don't know. Oh, it was cool characters.
Jen Mask and friend says Jed Clampett or Slinky Dog.
Yeah, Slinky.
I'm going Jed Clampett.
But if if we're like slightly in the Ernest universe, I also really, really love Dr. Otto in the Dr. Otto and the Riddle of the Gloom Bee movie. Like it's a weird
it's a
crazy,
really, really weird movie.
But I love that movie, and I love Jim in that role. Like I think it was so great. So
that's the one with the hand, right? Where it's like just like it's correct. All right, cool. I was making sure I just looked like an idiot doing this. So all right, good.
Oh man, I remember the first time I saw that. I didn't even know what to think the first time. Like,
I always say it's like Napoleon Dynamite or something, where the first time you watch it, you're just like waiting for certain things to happen, and then it never does, and so you're just befuddled, sort of. But then, like the second time you watch it, you're like, "Oh, this is what this is," and then it's like much better.
You get a chance to really pay more attention instead of just be really confused on why is Ernest doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I guess to get us through this movie review, which is gonna probably take a second.
It'll be 8 hours long, everyone.
On the next hour.
I'm just gonna basically go through it for the most part, just because everybody has seen this movie. It's been out for a long time. Obviously, we want more people to watch it. I'm not sure everywhere this is available either, by chance. This is one where I actually own it, but I think it's available on Prime.
It's now just this last week. It's on Disney Plus.
So Disney Plus,
super awesome. Yeah,
well, I know it's on I know it's like if you have the IMDb thing for Prime, it's on there for free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, for those who don't want to spend the money for Disney, which I strongly suggest spending the money for Disney because we got the new Boba Fett coming out real soon, so you're gonna need it anyway.
Or if you got a family member or a friend that lets you like use their account, that works pretty good too.
And I think Ernest Saves Christmas
watches it.
I'm not sure. I think the whole thing might be on YouTube, but it's like lower quality. So if you're like desperate, there is that.
Yeah, it's better to watch on Disney Plus.
Really for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, we got Blu-rays of almost every Ernest film out now, which is amazing.
Is there an Ernest box set actually?
Yes and no, but
I
there's
don't know
not
if
an
there is.
Ernest Saves Christmas Blu-ray because no one knows. But there is a Blu-ray for the other Touchstone 3 Disney Ernest movies. So
Yeah,
we're
I
like,
know.
let's get a Blu-ray for this. Like,
I know that my Scared Stupid is.
mm-hmm.
But anyways, after going ahead and getting this girl who
He's a
just sticks with
pathological
him.
liar.
It is. And honestly, she's probably the, like, once we get into talking about like what we actually thought about the movies, my only things I dislike about this movie is some of the things with her, but it's a weird thing that I just thought was kind of odd, like looking back and watching this. But anyways, after going ahead and getting her, she's pretty much stuck with them now. They end up losing Santa Claus, who ends up trying to find pretty much who's going to be the next Santa Claus, which is a guy named Jim, right?
Joe,
my bad. God, Jim Varney, that's why. Well, anyways, he pretty much gets ignored because Joe is going to pretty much try out for another movie, and this movie is supposed to be like his next type of thing to really push his career after his children's show got canceled. So he ends up pushing off the old man, Santa Claus.
well,
to
also
his-
it sounds crazy. Like he's like, you're gonna be Santa Claus. Like he's dismissed as a crazy person, understandably.
right, because what do they call him at first? Mr. Santos.
Yeah,
So-
that's the other thing is he's trying to tell Joe about this potential job to be Santa and gets like cut off repeatedly by Joe's agent. So
right, who not only just cuts him off and everything, but then gets him sent to jail,
yes,
which is
Santa and the Slammer.
right. Which just think about that for a second. If you would just tell people you were Santa Claus, there was a chance that you could go to jail in this world.
That's what I was wondering watching this is like, I don't know if this was something that like people that said something like crazy or were just like a vagrant would like go to jail. Like, I don't know if that's like a thing of the past or if that's just because it's a movie. So we're just going to do this,
Right.
I'm Santa. I've got a bag over here. Come over here this way. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why you would go to jail.
I'm not saying it was me, dude.
No.
Now,
just
if
the way you
in
said
this
it.
scenario, and like some old dude was like, "Hey, I'm Santa Claus, and you're next," I'd be like,
Yeah. I
"All
feel
right,
like he
then, let's
needs-
do this."
if like, yeah, I feel like he needs help, but
I feel like this could be a cool
maybe
adventure.
in the 80s, that's how it went.
Right.
Well, I would just like film it like everybody else does. But like, all right, cool, and then it'd be like, we go aluminum on YouTube.
Right. Well, anyways,
So Santa goes to the Slammer. That's
Santa
it.
goes to
Yeah.
so after going to the Slammer, Ernest figures out that he's pretty much lost his job for everything, gets kicked out of it or out of where the shop is, and then they go ahead and throw a bag to him, which happens to be Santa's red sack. And then that's kind of how they come to the realization that Santa's real and they need to go and find him and save him. And before doing a lot of this, that's when they go and meet up with their old pal Vern, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is a nice little throwback for sure for anybody who actually watched some of the TV shows. It's I believe some of the commercials were kind of filmed in that kind of manner as well too, which they kind of like go from doing a movie to going like really old school Ernest with it.
All the commercials are like that, like first
Yeah.
person Vern cam format.
Right.
So, and this is the only Ernest movie where they do that. Like Vern is mentioned
yeah.
here and there, but this is the only like Vern appearance in a Ernest movie. So,
Right. Well, yeah, appearances for sure.
yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like if you haven't, especially if you're not familiar with the commercials or whatever, you just watch this. Like that's how I first watched it. Was a kid, which I don't think I questioned it too much because I was a kid. But it's pretty crazy. All of a sudden, it goes into this like first person where like Ernest is like up in the camera, and it's wild. Yeah.
Right. Which is
I had a weird theory as a kid that, and this is stupid, but I had a weird theory that Vern was actually ended up being Wilson because he was put in the witness protection program, and Wilson from Home Improvement. You never saw his face.
I knew who you meant. Yeah.
Yeah, like you never. Yeah, my mom always said I was ridiculous for that, but yeah,
I like it. It's good. Yeah.
I think it works. I'd like to think that was real.
I think everybody likes to think that they're right. Anyways, after this happens and they figure out that Santa's pretty much real. And keep in mind, like, this is about the same time that we start getting two stories going on, because then we were getting the whole reindeer story kind of happening over at like the customs. And so we're getting two different stories happening. And as this is going on, though, and Ernest is figuring out where Santa is, that's where they kind of learn he's in jail and kind of come along with a little plan to kind of break him out with pretending that he works with the for the governor and that he has the governor's daughter with her, and pretty much just trick the entire police force into releasing Santa Claus to him, which is
brilliant. Yeah,
it is
amazing. Like,
I'm just gonna throw it out there. If anybody can do this and record it, I will pay if you could really make that happen.
What really breaks Santa Claus out of jail?
Or break anybody out of jail the way that Ernest did in this movie.
I think you should specifically try being that character, Aster Clement or Auntie Nelda, because it seems like those always worked for Ernest. So, yeah.
Right now, you got to go and buy a whole outfit.
My friend William, he has a full-on like Auntie Nelda cosplay, and he's worn it to like some horror conventions and stuff. So, like, he just finished it this year. So if you look up like Auntie Nelda, like TikToks and stuff, he started doing these things. It's amazing.
I used to have, when I was younger, my parents would have these Halloween parties on occasions. And there was a family friend, don't know who it was, who used to come to the parties dressed like that.
No, that's amazing.
That also goes to why I have a lot of questions about what we talked about before we got on here. So,
well, the character Auntie Nelda was based off of Jim Varney's Aunt Cecilia, so not like it was like a carbon copy or anything. But yeah, that's where the early beginnings came from. Yeah.
Well, that's really cool. So,
anyway, so they try to break Santa out, and then
they're very successful at breaking him out.
Yes.
Well, while this is going on and everything, they go and they get him broken. They break him out of jail, and then they're still trying to go and get with Joe and try to pretty much prove that, he's the real Santa Claus. He could be Santa Claus. And
there's a time like this is like all happening the day before. It starts the day before Christmas Eve in the afternoon. And then Santa spends the night, and then now we're up to Christmas Eve here. So there's a time crunch.
We need to fast.
We need to get this guy Joe converted to Santa before 7 p.m. this evening.
Right, which is funny. Shanty chimes in Santa Sleigh.
Yeah, that's the movie that they're trying to get the Joe guy to do. Is
right.
Which Goldberg later did a movie like that.
Christmas Sleigh. That's what it is.
Yeah. And you're right. Goldberg did do a movie.
Santa Sleigh. Yeah,
that was him. That's a really, really bad movie. I'm happy we're doing this one instead.
Same.
To say the least.
Yeah, I don't support Goldberg. Okay,
it's not a matter of Goldberg or not. It's a matter.
It is for me. It is for me.
All right. So, anyways, after going ahead and finding Joe, they're not really successful in being able to convert him over.
But you just skipped like two really good things that like
I know.
We had the Auntie Nelda appearance and then the Lloyd Worrell like snake guy appearance. Like those were involved in getting to Joe. So I just don't want to gloss that over.
You're right. I'm just trying to be able to fit everything in.
Especially the snake guy thing. That's probably one of my favorite characters.
Epic. Everybody recognizes that scene.
Right.
Well, fair, so continue. They get to Joe. He's not into it.
No, not at all. And everything kind of just like falls apart there for a little bit and everything. And Ernest is obviously kind of trying to like I don't know. They're trying to they want Joe to pretty much pick up being Santa Claus, and
Well, Ernest is like all in. Like he wants to help
he's
Santa.
100% in on helping Santa Claus.
Once he realizes he's actually Santa, he is like gun ho.
Yes, and then the other issue that's going on is the Harmony girl like steals Santa's bag, and then Santa doesn't have it for Joe, and all these other things go on with that. Yeah,
and while this is all happening, they're still dealing with the what was it? They're waiting for the elms to come in.
The helper elms.
The helper elms to come in and get these reindeer, which there was an argument, and he should just listen to him. It was a V, damn it. And so we got this going on. I think at this point in time we start to see that the reindeer are on the ceiling.
Yeah.
So we got the.
Which was like brilliant the way that they did that, not just filmed it, but like the way that they didn't show them flying and stuff. They just made the like noises, and then you just like knew what was like happening.
I love that whole scene though, because like where they're like, oh, we heard you had like a problem with reindeer, and dude was just sitting there, and he's just like
the animal control,
and then it's just like, what the, like, I don't know, it's just when you prove the authorities wrong anytime in a movie, it's great.
And then they're like, I think this is a problem for air traffic control.
Oh yeah,
they're out of there. And those two, the animal control officers, were played by Jackie Welch and Daniel Butler, who are in a lot of Ernest content.
Oh yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there were some delays with this movie as well because of the reindeer.
Yeah.
So,
do you want to talk about that?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but like, weren't they even contemplating on gluing those horns on because the reindeer could only have those horns the antlers during a certain period of time?
Yeah, it was like, I think it was summer in Orlando when they were filming this, and so nobody thought about this beforehand, that the deer would shed their antlers, and so they started filming, and then the deer were like shedding their antlers, and they had like bloody stumps on their head, and they're like, this doesn't look like reindeer. So they talked about like trying to put the antlers on, like attach them, and like the reindeer were not having that. So they ended up filming the reindeer scenes in Nashville like later on when the antlers were back. So everything else is filmed though, I guess, in Orlando.
Right. I knew there was a whole thing with that because
That's funny. My shot glass is a Nashville shot glass.
There we go. Lots of Ernest content from Nashville.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess as this is going on, the Harmony girls pretty much at this point taken off with the bag of the real bag, and Shanty's chiming in. Damn, Mo, you're Ernest.
This is like the tip of the iceberg. It's crazy.
To be fair, when I contacted Mo, I made it pretty clear that she was the first person that came to mind when it came to talking about an Ernest movie. And I think I was pretty honest about, like, if anybody's going to know anything about this, it's going to be you.
Well, thank you. It's just like I said, it's taken over my life and just become this like rabbit hole that has no bottom. Like you just keep going.
Right. Which is honestly crazy when you think about it. Like compared to some other actors, unfortunately, Jim Varney wasn't allowed to be with us as long as some of them.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he was able to release as much content as he did in such a short life is fucking insane.
Yeah, people rip on Ernest a lot, but I think it's like smarter than people give it credit for, and then also, takes a lot more chops than people give Jim credit for, and it had a lasting impression on so many kids and stuff too. But I mean, if you think about it, this is a character that started in commercials and like went from commercials to 9 major films, like starring in, like that is unheard of, will never happen again. Like it's really, from a marketing perspective, like Ernest is a really wild, crazy phenomenon. Like, yeah.
There's no arguing that. And, I'd be lying if I didn't say that a huge reason that I even know a lot of the things I do about the whole phenomenon with Ernest. And then, not to mention the early life of Jim Varney and his theatrical work and everything else is because of this guy right here. And he says, and TV.
Because of this book
Yes.
we love. I brought it
with
me tonight just in case. So this is the
let me go ahead
Importance
and
of Being Earnest. Okay. The Importance of Being Earnest, The Life of Actor Jim Varney by Justin Lloyd, Jim's nephew, and obviously biographer, which you can get on Amazon. And I think everyone should be reading this in preparation for the documentary.
And just throw it out there because for somebody like me, for instance, who I drive for work. So, and with how much I work and everything, it leaves limited time for reading. So for everybody out there who's curious on this, you can actually download that book and buy it on Kindle and use Alexa to listen to it while you're driving or doing whatever. So, I mean, you can, even if you go and get it on your Kindle app, buy it there, and then go and use your Alexa, you can actually use it as like an audiobook through an Alexa device, which is fucking awesome. That's how I drive 10 to 12 hours a day. So for me, it's the perfect way to read a book.
Yeah, that's awesome. I never thought of doing that until you said that recently. I think at the watch party or something. Yeah. I heard you say that you used Alexa, and I was like, oh, that's brilliant. Yeah.
Well, let's also be honest about it. I finished that book in a day and a half.
It's a great read. I was like savoring trying to not finish it, because I was going to be like sad when it was over.
It was good. I mean, considering that I don't think Justin had too much prior writing experience before this, like it was done well. I mean, very well. I was very excited with it, and a lot of really good information in there as well. But anyways, getting back to
where were we?
He says none. I'm assuming he's talking about prior work writing.
Oh yeah.
But great job, Justin. Great job. And Justin, if you get a chance, go ahead and share everybody, how they can get your book if you have any links, and I'll throw those up on screen as well too. But anyways, before I forget, we're obviously still talking about Ernest Saves Christmas. And while this is going on and Harmony's taking off with the Santa bag, she's pretty much waiting for her way to get out of there. Oh, there we go. Good job, Mo. Holy shit, that was fast. Did you just have that saved by chance?
I had it already pulled up. And this is the documentary website if people want to get updates about what's going on with the Jim Varney documentary.
I'm really excited about watching that whenever it happens.
Right.
Completely. I'm really excited about that.
Those were two links I didn't think about having ready, to be fair. And I did. Mo knew this and didn't tell me, but I didn't know Justin was going to be here.
So. I didn't know for sure that. And he said earlier when I was talking to him that he was going to try and make it. So.
Right. So for everybody who is interested, obviously I went ahead and shared it on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. The Amazon link to buy the book, as well as a link to check out what's going on with the movie. So check those out. Let Justin know what you think about him. I'm sure he wants to hear everybody's opinion. So if we get every one of the listeners to message Justin Lloyd and annoy the shit out of him for a day or two, I would just be really, really happy. I'm sure Justin will hate the shit out of me.
Go tweet him, yeah. Go get on Twitter.
Everybody go tweet at Justin Lloyd. Oh, man. Look at this. He's already getting orders in. Just ordered.
There we go.
Awesome. Hey, man, I think you're really going to like it. It's a very interesting read, and you really get to learn a lot about the early life of Jim Varney.
It's really cool. I honestly, the way I am when I read, I start 5 books at once. And it takes me years to finish them. I get about halfway through it, and then life happened with a bunch of stuff, and then I haven't got a chance to finish reading it. But what I read of it, I really enjoyed, which also made me really excited about the documentary. So I'm really hoping that happens before too long.
Right. And for everybody who actually does want to help me out on annoying the shit out of Justin Lloyd, I went ahead and Mo went and sent it to me, but it's on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. for everybody to go and make it his Twitter.
Go blow that guy up. Yeah.
Right. And he says, almost 6 years of blood, sweat, and tears went into it. So happy that people have enjoyed it. Well, you did a great job, man. I know I enjoyed it, and I would highly recommend it to anybody who is a Ernest / Jim Varney fan in any kind of way. Even if you're go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, even if you're like not like a huge Jim Varney fan, but if you just like reading about different celebrities and all that kind of stuff, I mean, because I could see this actually getting people into one, like, oh, well, I'll just pick this up, whatever, and then actually like, oh, okay, I got to check some of this stuff out. It's done really well.
More often than not, I hear like people like, oh, I liked Ernest, but then they read this book and then like full warning, like you could wind up being like me. I mean, like it's crazy. Like people read that book and then they're like, oh my gosh, I need to go back and rewatch everything Ernest. And then, they get on social media and look for fan groups and other things going on. And before you know it, like you're an Ernest junkie,
Oh yeah. I just thought that the whole early life of Jim Varney is what fascinated me.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
After we did Scared Stupid on here, there was a good solid 2 months where I anything I was doing, I was having a video on or whatever, and it was either stand up or it was like old commercials or it was like just interviews, whatever. And I went down the rabbit hole of Jim Varney there for a few months, and I was just like, yeah, man. And the guy was awesome. He really was.
Mm-hmm.
He really was awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely. Anyways,
one of the
we
greats.
Need to get through this walkthrough. Damn it! It's already been an hour almost.
Oh shit!
yeah, definitely. So, anyways, while Harmony is taking off with everything, we're getting kind of like multiple stories going on because we got the Harmony story going on. We got Santa Claus, who at this point has not really necessarily given up on Joe.
He's having a crisis of faith.
Well,
he's a little concerned about both Harmony and Joe not following.
Well, he's concerned, but he also mentions quite a few times, like that, he does
trust
still have
people. Faith, trust people and stuff. Yeah.
A very kind of weird way about going around it. And no, there's not a time limit necessarily, but I do tell people that, hey, I'm just going to take up about an hour and a half of your time. And unfortunately, I know people have other things to do in their lives. I don't know what Mo has going on, but I'm pretty sure if we keep her too late, she might get angry with me and then never want to come back on for another Ernest film.
Well, we're talking about Jim Varney, so yeah, like
I could do this forever, but yeah, my husband might be like, "Come on." Well, my poor husband.
And I understand that, but so
because of your husband,
not an official time limit, but we try to keep it where we're not having angry family members. There we go. So as this is all going on, we also have Jim, or not, God damn it, not Jim Varney.
Joe?
No, I'm thinking Ernest, but I'm just calling him by Jim Varney now.
Yeah, that happens.
We go back and forth about talking about the book and everything else. It's like, I'm losing track of people's names. But Ernest has got to the point now where the helper elves have showed up, and now they're with him and the reindeer. They have them loaded up into a truck, and while this is all happening, I believe this is about the time now where Joe comes. Oh no, because he hasn't come there yet. So as Ernest has actually loaded them all up, he's going to leave the airport, and as he's leaving, he ends up popping all of his tires. So they're trying to figure out a different way out of there. So the only idea that he really has is for them to pretty much put together the sleigh and use Santa's sleigh. And when this happens,
because they're trying to get to the Children's Museum by 7, and there's traffic. So this is the solution: is take the sleigh.
It's the only thing that makes sense. Let's be honest.
Like, why didn't we do this from the start?
Exactly. And while this is happening, they are able to go ahead and take off. Which, we get the Ernest going ahead and fucking up some of the reindeer names. Which was it Blitzen? He always messes up.
Blister.
Blister, yeah. correct me if I'm wrong, but was he messing up Donner too?
I thought he
Donder.
was.
Donner?
He says Donder, I think, and so
right. It made me question if I knew the name of the reindeer.
Yeah, because it only pointed out the fact that, like when he said blister.
It's definitely Donner. Like I remember from the Rudolph special as a kid, like Donner, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
But he says in like that TV spot for Ernest Saves Christmas, when Jim Barney is like acting as Ernest, talking about this movie, which is a weird concept, but he says like a bunch of crazy like dwarf names and stuff like Dopey and Sneezy and all these things. But every time I think Donner is said Donder, but we're just, I don't know.
Fair enough. At least I'm not going crazy. It's good to know if other people here who can hear it too. Well, as this is going on, Joe ends up pretty much seeing the sleigh, and I guess
they take off and they are flying, zooming around, and then they go by. And Joe's about to sign that contract for the movie, and then he sees what he thinks is Santa going by, and he's like, "I'm out of here. Merry Christmas! I'm gonna go find Santa and go be Santa." Just seems a little hard.
He leaves to go find Santa Claus and goes to the Children's Museum. And as this is all going on, was it Harmony actually ends up kind of having a change of heart herself too, after talking with a group of kids who kind of call her out on having Santa's bag, and she ends up going back as well. And then obviously from the trailer that we saw earlier, we get Ernest and his shenanigans on the sleigh going all the way, pretty much what I would call pulling a Superman.
Right.
I'm sure Ron will love that reference. And to be fair, I think Ernest did it better. Which I sure will really.
Justin will like that reference too. Justin's a huge Superman fan. Yeah.
Oh, really?
My son was pretty blown away by that scene. He was asking me all kinds of questions. I don't know how to answer it. How can he go out there and he's not lifting up? He's in space, and it's just a movie, son. It's written in the script.
Don't question it.
Yeah. It's Ernest. It's cool.
A Superman fan than he is a Ernest fan, to say the least. And he's just like, I hate you because I said Ernest. He loves Superman. Ron has similarities to Jerry Seinfeld. Some. Just
that explains why he likes it more than I thought he would. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Basically, what is up with that?
Going back to like the intro to today's episode, for instance, where we actually opened up with the trailer for this, the whole air brake scene. That's we get that
iconic.
Oh, it's probably one of the better scenes, I think, at least as far as like the line goes. And then once he goes and actually lands the sleigh, Santa goes to go and take off, but notices Ernest is pretty upset, and
Ernest is pouting on purpose for attention.
Oh, Ernest
he knows what it does.
Let's just be honest.
It's okay. I'll just go over here and stand in the corner for a while.
He's worse than a sad puppy at this moment.
Anyone who's seen Ernest Goes to Camp in the whole "Gee, I'm glad it's raining" sequence, like we don't ever want to see sad Ernest. Like that it affects people deeply. So he knows what he's doing.
Oh, yeah. I think that's one thing that makes Ernest, like the character of Ernest, so great, is the fact that, like, if you're giving up on humanity, okay, you can always go back to Ernest and be like, hey, there are people out there that just want to help. And that's one thing I actually gotta say that I really love about it, is because, like, I don't know, it's good to have a little bit of positivity once in a while. Ernest does it. You know what I mean?
The movie Ernest is very, very sweet. Yeah. Ad Ernest is not always sweet, but him and Vern have a little clashing going on. But movie Ernest is very sweet, and I think that this movie is probably the epitome of like the sweetest Ernest of all the Ernest movies.
Yeah,
like,
I can definitely see that.
Yeah. What did Jen say? The sleigh sequence is the highlight.
Yeah, especially when they reference Star Wars. I completely agree. Completely.
The like light speed thing. Yeah.
Oh,
that effect.
Right. Well,
and
it's
amazing.
May the force be with you.
Like, yeah. To put the sleigh to take off. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Which, to be fair, should have worked.
Yeah.
But whatever. I'll accept it for what it is. But after his pouty face, Santa invites him on, and then he's able to convince him that they need another helper elf, which they get Harmony
yeah.
on. They take off when an insane flight with Santa Claus, which we don't get to see anything else.
The new Santa, yeah.
Yes, the new Santa. And the old Santa, I think, has found himself a new woman. Or a woman.
They're going home together.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, which very, very quick. Well, they don't got much time. What, he's 151, right?
Yeah, his birth date was like, what was it? 1837, I think. Something like that. Like crazy.
Right.
He's all our Santa, so he's trying to get one in before it's time. I give him a lot of I give
him a lot of props. Oh man,
she invited him straight to her house.
She really did.
Oh, yeah.
She was very taken by him, very smitten.
What can you do?
And he was okay with it. So
before
maybe this was the whole thing. Like they were talking about this on Ernest Goes to Podcast. Like this could be, or maybe it was The Importance of Seeing Ernest, one of the Ernest podcasts, and they were saying like this is like the long game. Like this whole Santa thing was just Santa trying to get the girl. Like this is everything else is just like the long con, like to get there.
I mean, he is pretty like, all right, cool. Like I don't know.
It's definitely possible.
So it could be, describe it as a Santa love story. Like,
how many movies are like that?
Yeah, I mean.
So if an angel gets its wings, what does Santa get?
His bone. All right. So before we go ahead and get into what we thought about this movie, and obviously we give it a rating too, let's go ahead and catch up on a few of these
comments.
Yes. Ron says Kevin Smith, Sammy Davis Jr., Howard Stern are all notable Superman fans, not just Seinfeld. Jeez. I don't care. Band of Brothers says, when I had my near-death experience, I looked God in the eye and said, Slam Dunk Ernest wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I never saw that one either. I have not seen that one.
Okay.
Either.
Come watch it with Ernest Watch Party this year because there's the Disney 4, like the Touchstone 4, Camp, Christmas, Jail, and Stupid that are like the legendary Ernest movies.
Right.
But Slam Dunk.
They're the ones that had more money put to them.
Yeah. But the post Touchstone era, all those other movies, the other 5, Slam Dunk is my favorite. So it's like, it doesn't get the credit it deserves.
No.
I must watch then. You seem like So
yes, I have done my research. So you can
just a tad, just a little bit.
Yeah,
we've
affectionate. Oh, that's my mom.
Oh, in the original poem by Clement Moore, that first named the reindeer, it's Donder.
You know what? That's the kind of fact that Jim Varney would know too. So
you know what though? Now. Leave it to the mom. Leave it to the moms to save us in our moments. So hats off to your moms.
No, I'm very glad that was explained because we're all sitting here like, why is this not being called out?
I thought it was Donner. Now I'm all fucked up over it. Oh, sorry,
that's
Mom.
a total. It's okay. It's a total like Jim Varney trivia type of thing that he would know. So that's fine.
Well, I see.
Which is cool though.
You get it from.
Yeah.
I wonder if she heard it on here and it was like, I better figure out how Jim.
She may have known
Mom
that.
To the rescue.
Yeah. My mom may have known that.
That's how my mom is.
Yeah.
Very cool. Thank
Mom's
you.
Like, you got a problem? Google.
Let's see here. And Jen says, it was important of seeing Ernest.
Oh, the podcast. Okay. Thank you, Jen. Yeah. So there's my two favorite podcasts are The Importance of Seeing Ernest and Ernest Goes to Podcast. So I know Jen is an avid listener of both. So thank you for helping me figure out where that info came from.
Ron says, I'll remember that. I'm sorry, Ron. Okay. Kevin Smith's cool. Nobody really cares about Sammy Davis Jr.
I really enjoyed the Death of Superman.
Kind of like past his prime now. So realistically, Jerry Seinfeld was the best one to say. And
I I haven't really like watched anything Superman. So like Ron and I being like trapped in an elevator would be interesting.
Well, if you do, I'm just gonna throw it out there. The best Superman to watch is the one with Dean Cain. He is definitely
Shut up. No. Yeah, it was a fun show. But I'm not even a huge Superman fan, but I'm gonna fight you to the death on this one. Christopher Reeve was fucking Superman, okay? That guy was Superman.
Well,
no, that guy looked like Superman, acted like Superman, and those movies, even though they got really ridiculous, they were good.
Superman when he fell off that horse.
I know Justin, if he's still here, he's going to be like, you need to watch. He's a big Christopher Reeve fan, so he's going to probably send me a list of things.
I mean, come on, man. Christopher Reeve was great. You're going to make that joke? Damn, Jay.
That's still on. Man, come on, dude.
I don't even know what to fake you right now. No, stop.
Every single time we get into this conversation. I'm just not a huge Superman fan.
I'm not a huge Superman fan here, but moving on.
Okay. Jen says Ernest Writes Again is my personal favorite. I really liked Ernest Writes Again too.
I've seen it, but only once, and I don't remember a thing about it actually.
I believe that's the one with the Ernest and the one guy in there.
He's riding on a cannon for like 3/4 of the movie.
There's like jewels in it or something.
Yeah,
right?
the crown jewels of England. Yes,
it's never seen that one.
It's not my favorite Ernest movie, but it's for me, it's become better on consecutive watches. So
I'd say it's got some funny parts in it though, with that kind of storyline.
Well, yeah, they all do. I cannot pronounce this name. Hopefully somebody else can help me out here. Nothing personal. I'm just not the best with names.
Genevieve.
Okay.
I know her. Yeah.
Love your shirt, Maureen Edwards.
Thank you, Genevieve. Yeah. Thank you.
I like her name.
I have
Jesus.
an
awesome.
Ernest Saves Christmas pin button on.
You want to show it off for everybody?
There it is. Pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome, actually.
All right. So we went ahead. We talked about the movie. And all right, let's go ahead and talk about our thoughts on it as well as a rating. We usually, for you, Mo, since this is your first one on there, we always rate these between a 1 and a 10. And I guess I'll go ahead.
And is it based off of other things in that genre? Like, off of everything?
It just depends. You know what I mean? Like, for Ernest movies, you can kind of base it off of, things similar to it, your personal taste in it and everything like that. For everybody, it's a little bit different. Like Ron with the holiday special the other day, he gave it a -4. Or not exactly in between 1 and 10. It's below by a lot, but everyone gets their own opinion. With these movies, I would say in comparison to holiday films, but that's what I'm going to do.
Okay, yeah.
You pretty much go about it however you feel. But I'll go ahead. I'll lead it off to give you an idea. So with this movie, personally, for somebody who's not huge into Christmas films to begin with, I will say that Ernest Saves Christmas is something that, let's put it this way. Ernest Saves Christmas for me. I'm not a huge fan of Christmas, but this is one of the things that I can watch that is actually Christmas based, which I don't find horrible. I actually like it. I enjoy the laughs with it. Personally, I know that, basically when you're talking about any movies and you bring up Ernest, it's kind of hard to give it like a super high rating. Like, it's never going to be one of the fancy $500 million fucking flicks. It's hard to argue that. But with me personally, I would give this a solid like 7.5. This is a great Christmas movie. My only kind of flaws with this movie that I kind of think are weird, this is something I watch all the time, but over the last few years, it's something that's just kind of weird nowadays, I guess. You got Ernest, a grown man, hanging out with like a 16-year-old girl for the majority of this movie without her parents and staying the night with him, which is just kind of odd when you really go and think about it. And
I think you're looking too much into it there, JB.
Am I?
I think it's supposed to be innocent, buddy, but hey, if you want to turn it into that. ass.
It's definitely supposed to be innocent, but yeah,
back
I mean,
when
it
it
is
was made, it
strange.
was.
Like we have.
Don't
a
you pull some?
runaway-
Don't you pull some fucking a current affairs shit on us right now, buddy?
I can't me too Jim Varney, okay? Like, it's not fucking happening.
You better fucking
Okay.
not, damn it.
I don't even know if I should bring this up, but I was listening to another podcast. I'm not even going to say the person's name that said this because what if I'm wrong? But someone that was on that set was saying that, I hope Noelle Parker doesn't listen to this, that Noelle Parker actually had to have somebody kind of like babysit her on set in order to keep her away from the cast and crew.
Oh, really?
So yeah, like racy behind the scenes. I don't know what, but like they were like,
I mean, that time period.
Yeah, so she was 17 when this was filmed, but yeah, it's definitely sus to have a 17, 16-year-old girl just staying with like this bachelor that's like 40, but you know, Ernest is like the heart of a child. So I mean, we're not, you know.
The whole essence of Ernest is innocence.
Yes.
I mean, that's
I understand that. That's not what I'm
you
saying.
fucking asshole, JB.
Looking back on it nowadays, it's odd. You know, back in the late 80s, it was 100% cool for any single male in their 40s to take in a 16-year-old girl.
A runaway from home.
Hey, I mean, come on. Look, he's always been cool with the kids. I mean, even scared stupid.
Right.
Like, okay, he has two kids. Jump into his fucking, his truck.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. Like, what are you doing?
I understand that, but he didn't have
what an asshole
with them then.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're just supposed to take it. Ernest is like has childlike innocence. Yeah.
No,
but it is
fully understand
suspect.
It would be weird in real life. It would be a very strange thing in real life, but in this world, in Ernest's world, Ernest is a pure, big-hearted person who just loves everybody. He's innocent.
I just ruined your whole day, Chuck.
You kind of almost did.
Like you never thought about that at all until I said something.
Well, I had, but at the same point, I didn't want to. Okay, you're driving me to drink, JB. God damn it.
I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to ruin anything.
Well, this is an innocent show here, okay, man?
It is funny to think about. Harmony says she calls her parents to tell them, she said, I called my mom, I'm gonna go home and stuff. It's like, so she told her mom, yeah, I've been staying with Santa Claus and this guy Ernest, and
her parents are like, oh, come home, we have the straight jackets ready. They're waiting for you, honey. Come on, dear.
Well,
Santa Claus, eh? Yeah.
Still, overall, I'd still say this.
We believe you.
Fun movie, a great watch.
It is. It's one of the funnest, holiday films.
I'm sorry if I ruined anything for somebody, but that's not what I wanted to say. Before I go,
I'm fine.
Before I go ahead and pass it on, I'll let Mo go next. I will catch up on the comments real quick. Ron says, I can't watch Superman 4 for personal reasons, but I will die on a hill to defend Superman 3. Band of Brothers says, if Ernest Saving Christmas meant one had to be sacrificed, which holiday would you guys eliminate? Easter.
Holiday movie or a holiday in general?
I think he says, which holiday would you guys all eliminate? I'd get rid of Easter. I have no attachment to Easter.
Christmas can kiss my ass.
Well, he just says Christmas had to be sacrificed. One had to be sacrificed. So
if Ernest Saving Christmas meant one had to be sacrificed,
yeah, you can't sacrifice Christmas to save Christmas.
Should we do a boring holiday?
Did we ever get an Ernest?
Oh, my mom will kill me, but St. Patrick's Day,
really?
We don't do anything.
The only time it's
honestly, it's just an excuse to drink.
Movies.
I mean to watch those.
I don't drink. I just use it as my excuse
Groundhog's
to watch Leprechaun.
Hey, that's a good one.
That's my excuse to watch Groundhog's Day.
That's true.
My son shares a birthday with Bill Murray and Stephen King.
How about Valentine's Day? Does anyone actually like Valentine's Day?
No, but I love My Bloody Valentine. That's a great movie.
I'll go with that one.
I'm
That
like
one-
just throwing out all the holidays.
No, I'll just go. I'll agree with you on that one. I get fucked on that holiday.
Yeah.
My wife's birthday
Not in
is
the
the
good
day
way?
before.
Yeah.
Well, it's like it's birthday holiday. Just like
Oh,
this
yeah.
year, I got Christmas day after Christmas is my daughter's birthday, so it's like ugh, every fucking holiday. But yeah. All right, I'm down with that.
Christmas is whatever.
Let's see. Happy Hours news team. Shanty. But she's a runaway. I'm assuming that's about what I said.
Oh fuck! Now I got a Bon Jovi song stuck in my head. Thanks, Shanny.
My
little runaway.
Jen Mass says Jim Varney was the Jim Carrey during the 80s.
He was. He was. I mean, honestly, it comes down to it. Like, I mean,
Jim
it makes sense.
Carrey was Jim Carrey in the 80s.
Right.
And Jim
I don't
Carrey
like
was.
that comparison.
Well, the thing is, though, with Jim Carrey, though, when he came out, he had like his characters and all that stuff. But he also could do different types of film. Jim Varney was able to go from Ernest to the different characters to this character, that character, whatever the fuck. So, yeah, I can understand that a little bit, but I mean, I prefer Jim Varney. I think Jim Carrey is
There's definitely a big difference, though.
although
Shanty also says he gave her a place to
Jim
stay.
Varney,
The
though,
Illuminati.
like you're talking about that, the whole Ernest phenomenon, like that is wild from a marketing perspective. Like that is like I said, that never happened before. That's never going to happen again. Like to go from a TV commercial character at local commercials in the South, you know, then to like turn into this like I mean, people like a lot of people that don't know like Jim Varney stuff, like. The people are calling the TV stations all the time to find out when like Ernest ads were going to be on. They started printing them in the newspapers. Like there was like, I mean, Ernest was a huge deal in certain parts of the country. And then, you know, to be propelled into stardom, you know, to have 9 feature films like with that as the main character, I don't think that's comparable to like anyone else.
No, I mean, because of that, no. My dad has worked since before I was born at a TV station here called WTVQ. It's an ABC. Yeah, it's an ABC. All right, I don't know anything about that. But it's ABC affiliated, and they used to play a lot of the Ernest commercials and all that stuff. And as a little kid, I would go with Dad on the weekends to work. When he'd have to work on the weekends on occasions or whatever, I'd run around that place, and they have 50, friggin' TVs out. That was just it had Ernest, these like Ernest like commercials and all this stuff. You know what I mean? So like, I'm old. Like, completely. I'm so old. Like, man, it's ridiculous. But there was a initial thing I was talking about with that.
Well, while you think about it, let me catch up on the comments and continue.
There you go.
So,
Saved by the J.
Shanty also says he was also a camp counselor. And then Ron says, I've been staying with the guy who wears a vest on, ironically.
That's the phone call home.
He says it'll never happen because TV is kind of dead, which is true.
We have
Ernest would
YouTube
have
now.
to be a viral video, which even then, I don't think it could turn into the what it was then.
It'd be like if like it just won't happen because we have YouTube now. People can watch stuff on demand, but it'd be like the Progressive Lady or Jake from Allstate or something becoming a phenomenon of like epic proportions. I don't see it happening.
No.
Well, I mean, it's kind of funny you say that because it's like it is like that, but
it's not going to happen.
But no, of course I know. But like Ernest was one that was like they were like, hey, there's something here with this. Like I couldn't watch a movie with the chick from Progressive, but I couldn't, with Duder from State. No, there wasn't. There's no potential there for anything besides those commercials. With Ernest, there's so much potential. Like that's the beauty of Ernest.
Yeah, still inspiring so many people today.
Yeah, man.
So,
totally.
Anyways, why don't we go ahead and continue this on? And Mo, why don't you tell everybody what you thought of this movie and if you can give it a rating? Between 1 and 10.
I really love this movie. Of all the Ernest movies, it's not, like I said, Jail is my favorite now as an adult. Scared Stupid was my favorite as a kid, but Ernest Saves Christmas is right up there. I mean, like, of all the Ernest movies, I tried to like not watch this one as much during the year so it can kind of stay a special Christmas season thing. I think it has everything that you would want in an Ernest movie. It has Ernest being silly and helpful, and the slapstick and stuff, and the sweetness of Ernest and everything. He's not wearing a long sleeve shirt, which is great. He is then we have like the Vern thing, which for Ernest fans is really fun to see that like Vern cam perspective and stuff, and him terrorizing Vern. I like that it doesn't have like some of the child actor elements that like Camp and Scared Stupid had. It has a teen actor, but not, child acting. So, and I think it has a lot of great heart, as Jim Varney said in an interview, like trying to save Christmas, trying to save Santa Claus is a noble enterprise indeed. Yeah, so I think it has like the substance of like we're making Santa into a real character, and it also has like the fun of Ernest. So I think, and as far as like Christmas movies go, obviously I'm biased because I love Ernest, but I think this is like at least like a 9 for me. I mean, it's my favorite Christmas movie, so maybe I should just say 10, but it's not my favorite Ernest movie. So we'll go 9.
Right. That's fair. That's fair. Chuck, what about you?
Man, all right. It's not my favorite Ernest film, but it's got to be like I'm not a big fan of Christmas. I'm not. And I won't get too deep with shit, but this year is going to be kind of shitty for me. But I will say when it comes down to like the two handfuls of Christmas movies that I enjoy, I have to say this would be one of them. It is fun, and it has the nostalgia to it to I don't know, make you kind of forget about bullshit for just a minute. When I was watching it with my son the other day, and he had never seen it, that's where he drew that picture and all that stuff. At first, he was kind of about it, and I was like, just keep watching, and like he was so enthralled by Ernest. He was like, why is he doing that? And like, I'm like, that's just that. Because he does remember when we watched Scared Stupid, whatever. I would say that this film is the epitome of like wholesome. I mean, it really is. I don't like most wholesome stuff, but this one, I couldn't stop smiling when we were watching it. To be perfectly honest, so I would probably give this one like a 9, just because I'm not a holiday guy. I'm not into all that shit, but this one is one of those where like, it's a phone regardless. The story plot's great. I mean, honestly, it really is a good story plot. The characters are good that he does and he goes into. So yeah, I would say 9. I enjoy it a lot, and also. Whenever I've got to mention this real quick, when it comes down to Ernest films, and because we've been talking about Scared Stupid nonstop or whatever, but anytime that he's getting ready to go do something and he goes into a character and he's like, or he's in a character, or he's just kind of like he's kind of bucked up and he's like, well, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go in here and we're gonna do that, that kind of stuff. And I pulled that on my son a few weeks back. I was like, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go in this here Kroger here. We're going to get our food and all the whole thing. And I was just like, I really need to make this kid watch more Ernest films. But fucking Ernest, man. You can't beat it. You really can't when it comes down to it.
I guess before we go ahead and start to wrap everything up here, I will catch us up on these comments once again before they get too far down the page where I can't read them. Let's see here. Ernest was a great actor, hands down. Then we got James Aaron Thomas tuning in. Dean Cain is not Superman.
Right.
Hi, James.
For anybody who really thinks I was serious, like...
I've heard this argument before. I feel like you are serious.
Dude,
it
I don't
sounds
like
to me
Superman
like
to
he's
begin
like
with.
a casual Superman fan.
All right.
Very casual.
Me personally, I am not a Superman fan.
I'm not either.
Every time it's brought up,
Okay,
I
not even
say that
casual.
Dean Cain is one of the best Superman because I know everybody hates him. Me personally, I'm not a DC guy. I'm just not. Any of the characters, they're just not for me. The only thing that I think that DC's ever made that's worth a damn to me is the Titans TV show.
I'm a big Batman guy.
I don't. Batman's been done too many times for me.
I
like
look,
the Michael Keaton Batman. The rest can kind of fuck off.
Well, I was never like, a big Superman guy as a kid, but okay, as a kid, I was. As I got older, I grew out of it. But do you know I have a picture of you when you were like 5 years old, dressed like Superman?
It's kind of weird that you have a picture of me dressed up as Superman as 5 years old.
Hey, you know what? I don't, but I have of me.
So,
like,
anyways,
we
got Ron says, well, we do have Flo. It would be really fucking weird to see Flo in a movie, though. That's for sure. Justin chimes in. Ernest Family album premiered on
WTKVQ in Lexington. That's where my dad works. Yeah.
Right.
That's awesome. Yeah. 1984. That's when I was born. January 13th.
If you have not watched Hey Vern, It's My Family album, go watch that. Like,
that's
my favorite.
That's awesome. That is so cool. That that's Lexington. That's where my dad works. Still this day.
James chimes in saying Saves Christmas is probably the best Santa put to film.
Agreed.
I could say that that's fairly accurate for sure. And Ron says, my favorite Christmas movie is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's just not a Christmas.
That's more of a Thanksgiving movie. That's what I was trying to tell my family over Thanksgiving. I was like, hey, what shirt should I wear? And they didn't go with that.
When I first saw this, I only liked a few scenes, but I really didn't understand it fully. But I watched it again, and it's up there with Jail.
That's high praise from her. So
right.
That's good.
I'm sorry.
I'm watching Jail tomorrow night.
I have too many good memories with Ernest Scared Stupid to give any other Ernest movie my top spot, and that's my opinion. Ron says Chuck smiled. He only usually smiles at visceral scenes of macabre and torture.
I would like to have seen an Ernest movie where he's fucking crazy and killing everybody, but whatever. I kind of like the wholesome side of it.
Does Mo know any notable roles Jim Varney may have turned down?
There's one I'm trying to remember. If Justin's still here, he would remember. There's like one where there was like a big deal play that he couldn't do because he was in an Earnest contract or something, and it would have been a really.
I think Justin touched on this when he was on here. Actually.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was because I'm not like a big theater person, so these things don't I don't know exactly like what that is, But
if we had a time machine, it'd be cool to see that.
Yes, yeah. So, I think most of the, it's a catch-22 for him. Like you say yes to another Ernest thing, and then you might not be able to do another thing. But if you don't do Ernest, are you going to get offered other things, and are you going to work? So I think it's a hard.
I think Jen Mask and Friends was correcting that answer. That's
the character. Blind Lemon Pledge is a Jim Varney character.
One of them.
Which
was used in a show in Vegas.
Yeah, a stand-up character. Like
and Shanty says, great show tonight. Know what I mean?
Know what you mean, Vern.
Hell yeah, Shanty.
Right.
It was actually really crazy thinking about it though, real quick. If Jim was still alive and Rob Zombie, I know, hear me out. Do you think that?
How many shots did you take? Was I pretty close?
No, I'm on. I don't even know. Like this is like
I think I hit it about right.
You said 15. I'm not. Whatever. But
Happy Finn in the musical Big River.
Yes.
And I won a bunch of Tony Awards. That had to be tough for him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
But could you imagine though if Rob Zombie would have actually If there was a time when like he could have like brought him in on films, like just knowing his style.
Yeah, I think if Jim were still here, he was, like I said, he was aging out of Ernest anyway, I think. And the franchise was coming to a slow, natural end, I think, So I think he would have not really done Ernest anymore. And then we might have like cool things like that 20 years later, like now where he does like a little Netflix thing or, like something fun to like reboot Ernest or just appear as like an Easter egg in things or make cameos and stuff,
He would have been a great villain. He really would have been.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's like Mr. Belding on Saved by the Bell. I would love to have seen him like do something like evil. Same with like Ernest. It'd be cool to like, that nice guy that the guy we always like see as like the big hearted like kind of dude doing something heinous. You know what I mean? Like
he did play.
Shanty says Jim would have been a great Otis, which. I don't know. Bill.
I don't know about that one, but I think Bill Mosby.
Ron pretty much said it very, very correctly here. Rob Zombie's Ernest goes white trash or
there you go. Trash. There you go.
Any Rob Zombie movie is total fucking white trash. But
Ernest gets stuck at the Firefly house.
Right. Well, anyways, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Mo, we definitely want to thank you so much. I know we've had you on here a little bit longer than said.
My absolute pleasure.
Before you go, definitely want to share things with everybody real quick. So we got the Ernest watch party that you guys are doing with the Ernest Saves Christmas event, and that has been shared in the chat already. So guys, scroll up, check that out in the chat. Go check them out, see what they're all about. It's going to be Sunday the 19th. We will be sharing it. I'm sure Mo will share it on the Tales from the Podcast group page for us. If not, I will definitely be putting it there. You'll see it on the Twitter as well as Instagram too. So go check all that out. See what she's about. See if you might be able to win something.
Yeah, there's giveaways.
Oh yes, definitely.
Giveaways are always fun.
And Ernest merch is hard to come by these days. So
exactly, and I want some of it.
Oh yeah. Also, we have some social medias to share with everybody. So, Mo, we got your Instagram, your Facebook, as well as your Twitter account for everybody to check out, which I will go ahead and post those obviously in all of the chats too. Okay. So you guys can click the links, give her a follow, see everything that she is doing with Jim Varney. But not only does she work with Jim Varney, or I guess work with Jim Varney, probably the wrong way to say it, but do a lot of things, regarding.
I'm an Ernest Watch Party co-host. There you go.
Right. But on top of that, you have other things that you do, don't you?
Yes. So my main thing is I do like beauty tutorials online. I help other women feel more confident and creative with makeup and skincare. And I am a licensed cosmetologist, so it's kind of a passion project for me to do that. And then my husband and I own a Seattle area tree service, but
how much would it take for me and JB to look more beautiful than we do?
Oh my!
Well, for you, it's going to take a lot of things. No. I don't think makeup can make you grow hair.
It's going to take a lot of contouring.
This is a bald joke at Chuck. Chuck's like, I'm just going to keep my hat on.
So I think you dropped my I have a VIP beauty group on Facebook with all the tutorials, and we do giveaways and fun things in there too and whatnot. So people
see,
they need makeup,
just like free stuff.
If you like free stuff, just like hang around me because I'm like gifting is my love language.
Okay, I will go ahead and actually fix that. I thought I fixed it already. I don't know what the hell happened with the Instagram.
Oh,
you know what? I don't. Yeah, because that's weird that because it's on here the correct way. So here it is right here. No, it's on there the right way, but when it posted, it didn't post it correctly.
Oops. Okay.
So I don't know what that's about, but I will go ahead and I'll definitely try to redo that. I don't know what the hell that was about. That doesn't make any sense why it wouldn't show up. on there.
One thing I did want to say that I thought of while Chuck was talking, that another thing that I think like rates this high on the Ernest scale is that we get those like other characters. Like we didn't get in camp any other like diverging into like, you know, we get the Lloyd Worrell and the Auntie Nelda character and the Astor Clement character in this. And like, those are fun things to have in an Ernest movie. And then we also get Chuck and Bobby, who are like super favorites of a lot of the fans. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And them and their weird contraptions.
Right. There you go, Shanty. I know that link works. I just checked it myself. I will say though, even with all the cameos that we do get in this one, it's still only like a quarter of the cameos that we get in Ernest Scared Stupid. We get like 20 of them rapid fire at you in Ernest Scared Stupid, which is probably one of the better scenes.
Eartha Kid.
Oh yeah, and we get Eartha Kid,
Eartha
which
Kid,
is
yeah.
pretty fucking cool.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, Mo, thank you so much for coming on. Is there anything that you want to tell everybody else or do before we go ahead and wrap this up?
I don't think so. I think that everyone should read Justin's book, The Life of Actor Jim Barney.
We agree.
The Importance of Being Earnest, The Life of Actor Jim Barney. I think everyone should read that. If they're interested in Jim Barney, they should go to beingearnestfilm.com and make sure they're keeping up with what's going on with the Jim Barney documentary. And then if they can't remember anything else, just search hashtag Ernest Watch Party and you will find information about that on social media. And we have the events like 2 times a month. So yeah, we'd love to have everybody come.
Right. And also keep in mind, if anybody is curious on more of the things going on with Justin Lloyd, that if you go back and check out the episode that we did on the podcast forum where we interviewed Justin Lloyd, every one of his social media links that he gave us is in the show notes for that as well. If you can't find them and you're checking this out on the podcast, just go back, check that out. Got all the links right there. But definitely want to thank you once again. We're gonna go.
This has been awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I guess with that being said and everything, man, no, Justin, thank you so much for everything that you're doing. Especially, I'm sure Mo would. She probably thanks you more than anybody else with all the information that you're giving out about the life of Jim Varney, and not only that, but the future of what you have that you are hopefully going to be able to release for all of us to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Ron says nothing can make me beautiful. So I think, Mo, you might have a challenge on your hands there.
She's volunteering.
Let's see here. He says, good show. She helps me spread the word, obviously. She talks about you a lot.
Justin sends me like things that I'm not allowed to share, like pictures and stuff. And so like he's such a
I think it's really cool that he
my life.
I thank you, Justin, for actually tuning in and like being on here too as well.
Yeah, definitely.
He's a very nice man, a gentleman and a scholar and a wonderful person.
Right. So anyways, guys, with that being said, we're going to get the fuck out of here. You guys all have a great night. We will see you next week. Next week, though, before we go ahead and get out of here, I will say we are doing another holiday film that is a very iconic one. And keep in mind, I know that our holiday films this whole month has kind of been a little fucking weird. You know, people are like, well, what about Christmas Story? What about this? What about this? No. We're doing holiday special. Ernest Saves Christmas. Next week, we will be doing Gremlins.
Fun.
So,
a favorite.
Oh, yeah. And wait till after that week. I mean, it's our holiday month for us to do some movies. So this is what we chose. We hope everybody likes it. We hope you guys tune in for Gremlins. Let's see here. Justin says she helps me spread the word. I have to answer to David Pagano as well.
He's the director for the Jim Barney documentary, David.
Oh, very cool.
Oh, okay.
Really appreciate it. And Shanty, fucking Gremlins.
Yeah.
Did you guys just announce this, or have you already announced it on social media what you were going to do? Oh, okay. So this is new information to everyone.
Yeah.
People are mad.
Saw Gremlins. Definitely will watch it. Feel free, check us out. The links for that, I'm not sure if Jen is on Facebook as well. If she is, I'm sure she knows you. you can send her my way so she can see the stuff on Facebook. It's probably the easiest way to actually watch the shows. Plus, way more people interact on the Facebook page than they do on the YouTube page. Is what it is. But yeah, check it out. Anyways, thank you guys all so much. We're going to get out of here. So with that being said, the crypt is closed.